afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us. My name is Lynn Thomas, and I'm the head of the Rare Book and Manuscript Library, and it is my deep pleasure to welcome you all to the opening of our Sappho exhibit. First things first, I'm going to read the land-grant institution, and then I'm going to introduce the curator of the exhibit. As a land-grant institution, the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign has a responsibility to acknowledge the historical context in which it still exists. We are currently on the lands of the Peoria, Kaskaskia, Piankashaw, Wea, Miami, Muscoughton, Odawa, Sauk, Meskwaki, Kickapoo, Potawatomi, Ojibwe, and Chickasaw nations. It is necessary for us to acknowledge these Native nations and for us to work with them as we move forward as an institution with Native peoples at the core of our efforts. It is now my distinct pleasure to introduce the curator of this exhibit, Dr. Kate Coker.
Hello, Sarasate, my dear friends. Okay, they're laughing because they understand Greek. Hi, I'm Kate. This was my bad idea, Bear. This is the closest I will ever give to an Oscar speech, so bear with me. I am so delighted to see all of you joining us here today. Exhibits are acts of interpretation. They are conversations. Sweet Bitter tells the story of the great poet Sappho, but it also tells the story of the stories of Sappho, how figures are conflated over time, how histories can elide or be lost or be purposefully erased, but also how they can be recovered and celebrated. As we are all ever more aware, there are forces in the world that want to take history and change it, take our stories and make them into something else, something untrue. So today is about Sappho, yes, but it's also about all of the people here in this room, the communities that we build together, how we find strength and solidarity in art and books, and of course, libraries. We have a multitude of thank yous today to the Office of Arts Integration, the Classics Department, the Classics Library Collection, and the W. Peter and Joy McFarland Hood University Library Endowment Fund, all of which provided support for the performers here today, the printing of these books. If you've not picked them up, there's two. There's a poetry chapbook that has the original translations by students who are performing here today, by the way, and the exhibit catalog. And more on that in a moment. Something I want to recognize here particularly is the community within RBML itself, which has helped to bring every bit of this exhibit to life. The exhibit was installed by Ana Rodriguez and Marco Valadares Perez. The origami flowers seen throughout the cases were made by Dana Miller, Molly Banwart, and Emma Wise. Carrie Linkscheit made the gorgeous Cascade sculpture and also designed the vinyls, the chapbooks, and the catalogs with Chloe Ottenhoff. You see something beautiful, it's because of one of those people. I think Caroline Silowich, our fellow curator, had to reread everything we did at least 3 times and caught, we think, every single typo. If you catch something, please don't tell us. Let us live the dream. Tony Hines and his merry band of students paged and reshelved God's know how many books before I settled on the selection that you see in there today. J.P. Goguen from Media Commons spent a chunk of quality time yesterday and today helping to figure out the technical aspects of this afternoon, the camera, the audio, lighting, everything. James Gordon is up there recording everything. We will be putting this all online for people who were not able to make it. We try to make everything as accessible as possible. My dear colleagues Elias Petro, Dan Leon, and Joy Reaver provided unfailing moral support, sanity checks, and requests for help with my Greek at truly all hours. Elias knows the number of times I send him Facebook Messenger requests at 10 p.m. like a totally normal person. Speaking of Greek help, and back to the chapbooks, this work is a collaboration between students in the creative writing department and the classics department, who composed new translations of Sappho's work for use in the exhibit and in these publications. I want to thank again Dan Leon of Classics and John Dudek of English for putting the word out to students who would be interested. Eleonora Mili, Panagiotis Soteroudis, and Jillian White provided Greek to English translations, while Melina Infante and Jason Feister adapted the translations in contemporary poems. Alyssa Mullins, who works here in RBML, both translated and adapted further lyrics for modern audiences. Eleonora, Alyssa, and Melina will be reading their work and accompanied by Dimitri Klaros, a multi-instrumentalist and composer specializing in Greek folk music and Byzantine chant, who just graduated from our music department. Finally, Sarah Hook from the dance department helped spread the word about finding dancers today, and Kate and Celia of Urbana Dance Company provided space for the rehearsals of the past 10 days. So a massive thank you for this labor of love on everyone's part. I'm now going to hand the show over to Angeliki Zeneto of the Classics Department, who will introduce our performers.
Good afternoon to all. My name is Angeliki Zeneto and I teach in the Classics Department. Allow me in turn to extend warm thanks to Kate Coker, to the Rare Book and Manuscript Library, and to the sponsors of this event for making today's events and the exhibit possible. It is a special personal pleasure to introduce Jessica van de Koot, who is a choreographer and dancer based in London, UK, and whose career I have followed for many years. Jessica's Invocation to Aphrodite, which premieres this afternoon, was specially commissioned for the opening of the Sappho exhibit. Her Invocation to Aphrodite is inspired by Sappho Fragment 1. You can find the translation of Poem 1 by poet Anne Carson in the program that was left on your seat. The dance adapts the poem in a four-movement narrative sequence with three characters: Sappho, Aphrodite, and the lover. Invocation to Aphrodite also draws upon Sappho's entire corpus and explores the themes of female love, desire, subjectivity, and Aphrodite's role in Sappho's poetry. I hope you will now join me in welcoming Jessica van de Koot and the entire company. Gabi Estes, who is a choreographer, who is a professional dancer based in the Chicago area, and DJ Song, one of our students here at Illinois Dance and Illinois Dance and the engineering department. So let's give them a round of applause. We invite you now to stand in the space here for the first song. When you see Aphrodite pick up her apple, this will be your cue to take your seats again. You can move into the space. You can come in further. You need to give them some room.
He seems to me equal to God's, that man, whoever he is, who opposite you sits and listens close to your sweet speaking and lovely laughing. Oh, it puts the heart in my chest on wings, for when I look at you, even a moment, no speaking is left in me. No, tongue breaks, and thin fire is racing under skin, and in eyes no sight, and drumming fills ears, and cold sweat holds me, and shaking grips me all. Greener than grass I am, and dead, or almost, I seem to me. He seems to me equal to God's, that man, whoever he is, who opposite you sits and listens close to your sweet speaking and lovely laughing. Oh, it puts the heart in my chest on wings, for when I look at you, even a moment, no speaking is left in me. No, tongue breaks, and thin fire is racing under skin, and in eyes no sight, and drumming fills ears, and cold sweat holds me, and shaking grips me all. Greener than grass I am, and dead, or almost, I seem to me.
Painetai moi kenos isos deoison emin orner, otis enontios toi isdane, kai flasion adulfonesas upacue, kai gelaisas in eroe, to meman cardian en stefesen et toisen, Oscar esido brocheose, vonas uden etike. Ala kamen glossa eage, lepton dautica chro pur upade dromiken, opatese uden orim, et erombese dacoe. Calde nidros cacetai, tromos de paisan agre, chlorotera de poias emen. Tethnate dolido, Deus finally. Ala panton. In my mind's eye, he rides a golden chariot, drawn by two great winged horses. That man there, who bends toward you as if your words are drink. How moved I am to see that he listens. And when you speak, I see also a forest of gnarled cedars, hazy with pale mist and bright neon flies. I feel those insects in my chest rise to meet your laughter, and soon my tongue dissolves, and all the words that ever were are melting like chocolate. This is the first time I feel blue fire bright and silent beneath my flesh. And then my eyes catch like matchsticks, and the drone of the eternal fills the whole city. A trembling child takes me in her wet arms. I am greener than grass, the first traveler to reach the end of the world and bear the weight of its banality.
Διαδόλος θέλει. Α, με ψισδομένα, κατερήμπανε. Πολλά και τόιδε είπε μη, όι, πως δεινά πεπόνθαμε, ψαφ ή μάνσα έκεις απλημπάνε. Ταν δεγώ, τα δεμβώ. Χάρη Σέρχιο, καμέθεν μέμνας. Ήστα γάρ, ως έτη γύρνη. Παιδε μη. Αλλά σε εγώ θέλω όμνηση,
Όσα μορφακά και καλά επάσχομεν, πολύ σγάρ στεφάισιο και βρόδος φακίον τιμή, κανεί το παρέμει παρεθήκαο, και πολλές υπαθήμιδας, πλευτές με παπαλέ δέρε, άνθεον έβαρες ποποημένες, και πάντα λιπάρος μύρο, βρεθείο εξελίψεων και βασιλείων. Και στρώγναν επί μορφακά απαλάν, εξής πόθο έψα νεαλίδα. Κοίτα της χώρος, τι ήρων, ουδή έπλετ όποθεν άμεσα πέσκομαι. Ο κάλσος, ο ψόφος.
I want to die guileless, honest. She left me in tears. And among so many, she told me this. Alas, how many calamities we have suffered, Sappho, indeed. I desert you sullenly. And I told her these in return. Farewell and remember me, for you know that I took care of you, good and right. But even if you won't remember me, I want to remind you of the pleasure, the many tender things we experienced. For you placed many wreaths of violets and roses, sage apples and dill near me, and you placed many plaited garlands made of flowers around our soft skin. And, insatiably, you were being smeared everywhere with precious and royal mire, and on soft and silken bedding, you quickly let forth the yearning of young girls, and no chorus nor shrine nor were absent from where we were, no grove nor sound.
Γλυκία μάτε, πότε τήραμε κρέκιν των ιστών, πόθο δαμίσα παιδός, βραδίνα διαφραδίνα.
Sweet mother, I cannot leave my songs, overcome with longing for a girl by slender Aphrodite.
Έσφαιρε, πάντα φέρον όσα φάινονας εσκέδας αυγός. Φέρες όι, φέρες αέρα, φέρες ακουμάτερα παΐρα. Άγιδε, χελουδία, μου ελέγε, φωνάεσα, δε γεννή.
Evening, ever you restore everything. All that blazing dawn scatters far afield. You restore a lamb, restore a foal, restore a child to its mother. Come, divine lyre, speak for me, and speaking, be. I want to die guileless. She left me in tears. And among so many things she told me this. Alas, all many calamities we have suffered. Sappho, indeed. I sang Solita. And I told her this. Farewell, King. For you know I took care of you. Good and right. But even Were absent from where we were. No grove nor sound.
Να είστε σε τεινά φαίνει και άψερον αμέων.
They will remember us in the future, I say. Someone will.
You've Baristo. Is that all right? Close enough. Thank you, everyone. A special thank you to Molly Van Wart, who ran lights, to James Gordon, who was recording, to everyone who spoke and performed today, to all of you who come today. We will be replacing recording of the show on our YouTube channel in the coming weeks. Here's the part where I remind everyone that the symposium, in the classical sense, was a bit of a drinking party. We don't have wine, but we do have fruit punch and imaginations. So please, drink, eat, be merry, enjoy the exhibit. Thank you all so much for coming.